Hi, I'm Eric Orsborn, Mayor of the City of Buckeye. We're kicking off Buckeye Air Fair's Aviation Week with an inside look at military aviation right here on the flight line at Luke Air Force Base. We get to hear and see these incredible machines ripping overhead every day in Buckeye, but it's my pleasure to give you a glimpse into the work and the mission at hand going on right here in our backyard. If you've ever wondered who's behind that sound of freedom coming from the skies above Buckeye, it's the men and women like F-35 Crew Chief Staff Sergeant Jaden Barath and Director of Staff for the 63rd Fighter Squadron Panthers, Captain Chase Carter.
Anytime you see us above Buckeye, we're doing some kind of important training.
Buckeye is the entry point for the Barry M. Goldwater Range, where the world's most advanced aircraft and pilots get put to the test.
And we do essentially every mission set that we train here. So everything from basic fighter maneuvering, which you can think of as like dogfighting, if you will, through ACM, air combat maneuvering, so multiple airplanes, tactical intercepts, so attriting enemies at range.
And from the air to the ground, it's all hands on deck.
We're checking tires, checking fluids, making sure that all the components are doing what they're supposed to be doing so that our pilots come back every day.
In the Valley since the 1940s, Luke now has around 170 amazing aircraft, making it the largest fighter training base in the Air Force. Host to several partner nations, this base produces fighters around the world.
It's a massive enterprise. If you were to look at the chart, we produce a significant portion of all fighter pilots in the USAF just out of Luke compared to all the rest of the bases combined. So it's a pretty credible operation.
But before all of this, everyone follows their own path to the flight line.
I wanted to get out of a small town. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to educate myself on the world. I had no idea what the F-35 was when I joined. I had zero idea. I had no idea what it looked like. All that was local to me was the F-16, and I had no idea I'd be doing this.
Others had their course charted for them.
I did a road trip cross country with my dad. I was 8 years old, and we saw, like along the highway, that, I mean, literally looked like somebody had, written on a piece of cardboard, like air show, 20 miles this way. Ended up being the Nellis Air Show. I always wanted to fly before that, but that kind of cemented it, if you will.
Captain Carter, now full circle doing F-35 flyovers at events like the Buckeye Air Fair.
Our main focus is doing it right and giving credence to whoever we're supporting. And then if we get, enjoyment out of it or a thrill out of it, that would be a bonus.
Yeah. No matter the flight plan, if a career like this interests you, there are many avenues to get your foot in the door.
It's a pride that you'll never understand unless you do it.
Just don't wait until it's too late.
There's options out there for sure.
Even for a 48-year-old mayor?
People say there's waivers for everything. Yeah. I don't know if that would apply.
Well, let's look into that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I'd like to thank Luke Air Force Base, the 63rd Fighter Squadron, and the Airmen for giving us an inside look at military aviation and inspiring all aviation fans, both young and old. We love hearing the jets fly over, and Buckeye is a huge supporter of the mission here. Please continue to follow our social media channels in the coming days as we highlight our partners with Buckeye Air Fair's Aviation Week. It's called the Buckeye Air Fair in Copperstate FlyIn for a reason. Every year, thousands of aviation enthusiasts descend on the Buckeye Airport to talk shop and see what's new in the world of flight. It's such a big draw that it's actually the third largest event of its kind in the United States.
Last year we had total pilot attendees was around 8,000 to 9,000.
The City of Buckeye and nonprofit organization Copperstate have been combining forces to make the air fair bigger and better every year.
The Copperstate has moved around to different airports around the Phoenix area and has found a home here at Buckeye.
During the air fair, Copperstate takes over the southern end of the airport for 4 days of everything aviation. Copperstate President and United Airlines pilot Scott Andrews says it's kind of like a car show for planes.
Everybody gets together, talks. It's kind of like fishermen getting together. Anybody that's ever looked up into the sky to watch an airplane fly over and had a little fascination or curiosity about it when they were younger or even older is more than welcome to come out and join the festivities.
And for pilots like Drew Campa, It's events like these that really inspire the next generation.
3 or 4 years old at Luke days, and I'm like, I want to be in, I have a poster from it that was signed by the Blue Angels at the time. And I just remember, like, I want to fly jets. From then, that's all I ever wanted to do, and I got to do it.
After a career flying F-18s in the Marines, Kempa now uses Copperstate as a way to share the spirit of aviation.
I still remember that feeling and being able to look into a cockpit that I've never seen before and being able to give that to other people and then see it in them is very rewarding.
Copperstate goes above and beyond, using its proceeds from events like the FlyIn to pay for kids to attend the Air Academy camp in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
What Copperstate does is usually sponsor 2 to 4 kids per year to go to the camp for 1 week. They have different activities for them, so they go out to an aircraft and they'll teach them how to do a pre-flight. They'll teach them how to do run-ups, and they take them on some flights. They teach them how to do maintenance with the aircraft.
And it's all about getting that next generation of enthusiasts involved in the world of flight.
And it's doing something that a lot of people admire. I've even met 85-year-olds that said, you know, that was on my bucket list, but I never was able to get it done because I didn't have time. Well, life took me in a different direction. There's no time to start like now, whether you're young or old.
Thank you to Copperstate for helping make our event such a success every year. To find out more about the event and how you can get involved, visit copperstate.org. We'll see you tomorrow with an inside look at this small but mighty airport right here in our backyard. Hi, I'm Eric Orsborn, Mayor of the City of Buckeye. Westmec, or the Western Maricopa Education Center, has a huge presence in the West Valley and always makes an appearance at the Buckeye Air Fair. Their 4 unique campuses are designed with programs to get students ready for the real world. Today, we're giving you a behind-the-scenes look at the Glendale campus, which is home to a state-of-the-art facility that fast-tracks men and women into the field of aviation technology.
The best part for me about Westmec is the hands-on, getting to touch the airplanes, really get a feel for how these machines work.
I mean, we have all these engines to work on, and it's all ours.
For the cost of a couple college books, joining Westmec's aviation technology program was a no-brainer for high school seniors Mustafa Biso and Devin McMillan.
You know, you look at college and it's not the smartest thing if you don't exactly know what you want to do. With this, it was $500, and you know, I get an inside look at it. If I don't like it, it was just $500, it's all right. But if I like it, I can take it and run with it and make a lot more.
And even with the ongoing pandemic, aviation maintenance jobs are in high demand.
Any student who wants to work or who's looking for a job, we can get them a job. There's that much work out there right now.
Troy Gabaldon helped start Westmec's Aviation Maintenance Technology program in 2011. With classes for high schoolers and adults, they've cranked out about 100 students a year, ready to take on a new career.
That gives them the ability to test to get their airframe and power plant certificate. To get that means that they're allowed to go work and sign off on any aircraft that's American-made aircraft. So they can work anywhere in the United States and be able to work on the airplane and to sign off their work.
From the paperwork to the wrenching, Westmec teaches it all to get FAA certified. And by the time these teens are ready to graduate from high school, they're way ahead of the game.
To get the A&P license, you have to really know what you're talking about. You have to go through a lot of tests and a lot of procedures to obtain that license. And that license looks really awesome on your resume. Employers are definitely going to notice that you have that, and it's going to stand out for sure.
There's only a handful of schools across the country that have an aviation program like Westmec's. And with a hangar full of planes and engines ready to go, why wait?
You know, why wait till graduate high school and go to college to get, we're teaching the same thing and the certification is the same. Do it in high school, it's way cheaper, and you're doing it, when you graduate high school, you're done. You're ready to go to work.
Aviation technology is just a small part of what they do here at Westmec. With programs from automotives to veterinary sciences, there really is something for just about everyone. To learn more, visit westmec.edu. We'll see you tomorrow as Buckeye Air Fair Aviation Week rolls on. I'm Eric Osborne, Mayor of the City of Buckeye. When I bring up the Buckeye Airport, I often get the response, "We have an airport?" So as we roll on with the Buckeye Air Fair's Aviation Week, I'd like to take the opportunity to give you a behind-the-scenes look at the small but mighty airport that's right here in your backyard.
We're at approximately 40,000 operations a year annually. And by operations, I mean a takeoff and a landing.
Managed by Buckeye's Public Works Department, the Buckeye Municipal Airport sits just a few miles west of downtown Buckeye, home to the annual Buckeye Air Fair and Copperstate FlyIn.
Last year, in fact, we did so well, the attendance was the best ever at 36,000 attendees, which, if memory serves, that's the third largest fly-in in the United States, just shy of Oshkosh and Sun and Fun in the Florida. So it really has, like as I said, put Buckeye on the map and provided that maximum exposure for our airport, because a lot of people don't even realize that Buckeye has an airport. So it's a wonderful event.
The untowered airport features a mile-long runway, 40 hangars, fuel sales, a pilot's lounge, and with services like skydiving, glider rides, flight instruction, and aviation mechanics, the demand is taking off.
We currently have a waiting list of 32 people that are waiting for a T-hangar spot to open up. So there's quite the demand for hangar space. But beyond that, we have several commercial tenants, and there goes the skydiving airplane.
And as Buckeye continues to grow, so does the airport. A recently approved water line scheduled to be completed later this year will supply the airport with sufficient flow for proper fire suppression and more commercial tenants.
We have 700 acres, or about 600 acres of largely undeveloped land just ready to be developed.
With congested airspace to the east, the Buckeye Airport is extremely attractive to pilots, and its geographic location makes it a prime landing spot for economic opportunities.
We're just south of the I-10, we're just west of the State Route 85, and close to rail, and the proposed Highway 11 from Las Vegas to Mexico will be just to our west. So we'll be well positioned for any kind of future development.
The sky is truly the limit with the Buckeye Airport, and I see it playing a major role in the city's future. I can't wait to see it packed with people again at the 2022 Buckeye Air Fair. Please continue to follow our social media channels in the coming days as we highlight more of our partners in Buckeye Air Fair's Aviation Week. Hi, I'm Eric Osborne, Mayor of the City of Buckeye. The Buckeye Air Fair and Copperstate FlyIn is also home to a signature event for the Scitec Institute. Dozens of organizations take over the north end of the airport to put on the Scitec Festival, and last year was the biggest yet.
What this essentially is a celebration of STEM in Arizona, STEM being science, technology, engineering, and math.
You want to hear a little bit about Scitec?
Chief Science Officer and Basis 8th grader Valentina Lopez says with more than 50 booths at the 2020 Scitec Festival, people are certainly starting to take notice.
This event gives the opportunity for people of all audiences to engage and learn more about what STEM is.
It's all about showing kids what it means to have a career in STEM. And with the festival going into its 7th year, they can get a taste of what it's like to be an astronomer, a pilot, a veterinarian, and a whole lot more.
So all these different opportunities definitely help me learn more and explore these different areas of STEM to see what I'm passionate about.
All of the volunteers and organizations are dedicated to bringing STEM alive for the next generation. It not only makes STEM fun, but it's important for the future of Arizona.
It's really exciting to be able to share this passion with other students and even with adults. And yeah, I think that once that light bulb goes off, that really excites them to continue learning more about it.
If you know anyone who would like to get more involved, visit scitecinstitute.org. And be sure to check out next year's Scitec Festival at the 2022 Buckeye Air Fair and Copperstate FlyIn, which is already being planned. We'll see you tomorrow as we catch up with one of the stars of the air fair, stunt pilot John Melby. I'm Eric Osborne, Mayor of the City of Buckeye. Today we're wrapping up the Buckeye Air Fair's Aviation Week with the stars of the show. Every year, our stunt pilots amaze us with incredible acrobatics and death-defying stunts. These guys are incredible at what they do, and frankly, they may just have a screw loose.
The size of the box that most people like to be in, that's their comfort zone, mine is way out there. So for everybody else, I'm crazy. But for me, I'm very normal. So yes, I have a screw loose, but it depends on your perception, if it's how you look at me. And I think you, Mayor, you're right next to me in that box, a little screwy, so.
A little off, yes.
Sir?
One more time, give it up for Mr. John Melby.
The Fear Boss, John Melby, got his start flying special operations in the military. He's since traded his MC-130 for a black and yellow Pitts biplane to entertain the masses at air shows around the world.
It's like sitting in a Harley because the engine's going like this and you get full power and it's a rocket. You're airborne in about 6 seconds, you're accelerating at 140, and that airplane you can take it and just tumble it, you can do whatever you want to with it.
And even though it may look like he has a screw loose from the ground, he's in total control.
I understand everything and where I'm at. I never put myself in a position where it's going to be dangerous. From the perspective of a spectator, they're seeing me do all this stuff, but I practice it over and over and over again. I've got 20 years as an airshow pilot, another 6 years on top of that flying aerobatics, and I don't want to be this person who, I don't know, shows off and gets myself killed. I would never do that.
With only a couple dozen pilots in North America that can do what Melby does, he always takes the time to appreciate how far he's come.
What happens for me is, like, if I'm doing a loop, I just thank God. I thank God that I have this ability to be able to do this, because I can see a loop and it's beautiful. And as I'm coming back around, I have enough time to look at the crowd, how big the crowd line is. As I'm coming down, I'm like, what kind of moron does this thing? Oh yeah, it's me. I could be home playing Xbox or whittling wood or something. And I'm actually thinking about how much fun this is.
Buckeye introduced the air show a few years ago with just a couple of pilots. Last year, the show, hosted by our amazing announcer Jeff Overby, grew to 5 stunt pilots that put on an incredible 2-hour show for more than 30,000 spectators.
When I fly air shows like at Miramar, that's at Marine Corps Station Miramar, it's the largest military show in the world, 1.5 million people there. I can't see everybody. I can't talk to them. Actually, they throw me over in a hangar and feed me bananas and stuff. But I love it because the message gets out to a large people. Here, I get to meet the people. I even get to meet the mayor. I mean, it's just this opportunity to my fellow citizens of the state of Arizona. It makes it so great.
Now, with 20 years as an aerobatic pilot and nearly 250 air shows under his belt, the Fear Boss says it's all about controlling your fears to achieve your dreams.
What is the thing that really makes you want to do something that you want to do? And like, oh, I would love to fly someday, but I'm too old. I'm 40 years old. I'm 45. I'm 50 years old. Or I want to go travel the world, but I'm too old. I'm like, really? And so what I found is just fear. It runs rampant. It's even more so now, in my opinion, because of the pandemic. People are afraid. And the reality is, when you live in fear, you can't go out and do anything. And you're still breathing, you're still able to move, you can do anything. So Fear Boss is the website that I have. It's called fearboss.com. Talking to people about what they can do to just manage little snippets of fear.
To the Fear Boss, John Melby, Luke Air Force Base, Westmec, Copperstate, and Scitec, I'd like to thank everyone that took the time to be part of this video series. I hope Buckeye Air Fair's Aviation Week has given you more insight into the impact our little airport has on our city and the aviation community. And until we're soaring again in 2022, thank you.